Hello, this is Sharon, and I am going to share some thoughts about Chapter 2, Cognitive and Linguistic Development. For those of you who have watched the first video and given me some feedback, I appreciate that. This is my second or third webcast. So here's some thoughts about this chapter. First of all, what I would encourage you to do is take an opportunity. Well, first of all, no, let me highlight some things that you're going to be looking at in Chapter 2 that if you've taken intro psych, these will be some things that you've heard before, read about before, discussed before. You're probably familiar with Piaget's cognitive development theory. Maybe you also have read some about Vygotsky's cognitive development theory. You for sure had discussions about nature versus nurture, and probably or possibly come to the conclusion that it's not either or, but it's a combination, which is where I end up on the argument. I really like this part in the chapter about the brain and how it works and its development. I find that really fascinating. And then a section about linguistic development, and then diversity of cognitive and linguistic development. So here's some things that I would encourage you to do based on or depending on your learning style. And these are activities that are related to the content of the chapter. I myself am a kinesthetic visual learner, so I like to see what I'm learning about. I like to see it in action. So here's some recommendations that I would have for you. I would encourage you to, one option would be, I'd encourage you to go to a classroom, whether it's a high school classroom, junior high, or middle school, or an elementary school. I'd encourage you to visit a classroom, if at all possible. And I'd encourage you to do that so that you could see in time what Piaget and Vygotsky were talking about as it relates to cognitive development. It also gives you an opportunity to see how a teacher is either matching or not matching where the students are with their cognitive development, and hopefully where the teacher is trying to challenge the students to go up to the next level of their cognitive development. You might also, if you have access to a younger child, you might try some of the experiments or some of the tasks that he talks about or he's described as it relates to his theory, and actually get a chance to see when a child struggles with the next cognitive level. In other words, they struggle with making categories or conservation, those types of things, or if they are not abstract thinkers yet, and how the concrete is really where they're fixed at this point in time. If in fact, well, with your textbook, in getting a textbook, you should have received a CD that you can use for additional learning opportunities with the material. I just got done reviewing, I believe it was 4 exercises related to Chapter 2. In each of the exercises, a teacher was trying to work with her students in the classroom to explain different concepts or to talk about a story, the characters in the story. And it was very interesting to see each teacher, the types of questions they used, the type of interaction they used, how they addressed different learning styles, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. So I would encourage you to pull out that CD and take an opportunity to look at it. Now here's what I would suggest. Take a look at the video clips first, read the chapter, and then come back and see the video clips, or at least a clip, to get a sense of what the teacher's doing and how they might be using one of the cognitive theories in practice, or not using it, not keeping it in mind. And then you might make some notes about what you see related to the types of questions that are being asked, maybe questions that you would ask differently, or additional questions you might ask, things about wait time. Some of what I noticed is that at times teachers are very quick to jump in with asking another question, not letting thought processes really occur for the student. So anyway, make a list of kind of what you see the teacher using as it relates to the chapter. This list could then be what you put on the discussion board as your highlights and that you share with other folks that are in the class. Oh, one other activity that I might encourage you to do if you have access to that, access to the context, and that is go to a school, see if you can sit in a classroom of a school that has a bilingual curriculum. Here in Fort Collins, we have an elementary school that teaches both in Spanish and in English. And if you have access to a school that works in that manner, I think the linguistic development from different languages would be a really interesting thing to view. That's all I have for now, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to get a hold of me via email or by phone. My office phone number is 491-6861. Thanks. Bye.